Hey, what's up, everyone? Uh-oh. My camera's not working? That's awesome. Oh, there it goes. Just had to right-click it. Hopefully I sound okay. Like I said, I always change my audio settings from one computer to the other. So if I didn't get it just right, going from memory, I probably should write things down. But what's up, Daniel? If you could let me know how I sound, I would really appreciate it. I'll have to describe the painting to you. Well, first I'm taking some blue, and then I'm taking some yellow, and putting it on the model. A bit crunchy. Oh, shoot. Um, let's see, which filters do I need to take off? Oh, was it? Hang on, this is probably it. Okay, how's that combo? Is that any better? Hopefully less crunchy. I have my music queued up too. Oh yes, much better. Okay, it's probably the compressor. Probably too much uh, post processing. Right, let me cue up the audio. And by audio, I mean background music. White Bat Audio, linked in the description. Credit. They dropped a new chill synth playlist that is royalty free. And chilling is what we're going to be doing tonight. Because I've had one hell of a week. So I'm ready to just sit here and paint a little. Make sure I don't roll over any doggy feet with my chair. So I picked up something at the hobby store. And I think this will help what I'm doing. Hang on, I'm getting my stuff organized. My workspace optimized. Okay. So, I saw these in a Hobbyist Discord, but what we got back in Plat 1. Congrats, Shaq. Friend gifted me the Oblivion remaster, still downloading it. 118 gigabytes. Yeah, it's a big game for you. We're gonna Bane post. We got alligator clips on like these extra long toothpick thingies, and then this is a base for them, so I can stick them in there like that. And the idea is I can clamp, and the piece can fall off and completely ruin what I'm trying to demonstrate. What's up, Velour? Okay, so the hand is a little weighty, but here's the idea. So now I don't have to get my grubby fingers all over the pieces and rub the paint off, smear my oils on there, which can impact the paint adhering or something. I don't know. Just thought it was a little bit more professional to do it that way. If I can maintain it. So, and then what I've seen for the pieces that have the inserts is there's little holes, so I can stick the toothpick piece inside, and now I've got total control, and I don't have to keep grabbing her and rotating her around in my grip and smearing the paint over, which I've noticed has caused some issues. So we're making little upgrades. So hey, what's up, Red? Got my Switch 2 to felt the guy. You felt up a guy with a Switch 2? No, I know what you're saying. It's just, I hope you didn't buy a Switch 2 just to like spite DSP. I think that would be hilarious. It's a little funny, but I think it'd be It's a little ridiculous. But no, you're a collector type anyway, so I guess it makes sense. Oh, and I picked up 2 colors. So, we have ivory. So what I noticed was the only other white I had was white, and since I primed the model in white, I ended up with very pure bright white, and it's kind of hard to scale your values from like a dark white to a highlight, if that makes sense, a shadow to a highlight if it's all just already super bright. And what we did in we put a layer of like really light blue down. And what, holy cow, I'm getting rated by Tevin. What is up, Tevin? AEG, how are you guys doing? We're painting Chun Li tonight. I'm showing off the new pieces I got. Anyway, so ivory paint, so that way we don't have the bright white, and we have the subtle shading of the blue in the recesses. And then I picked up a light gray, which I think is what I will end up painting her spikes, and so that way they're not also bright white. On one hand, you spite DSP, on the other hand, you validate Nintendo. Yeah, true. Hey, what's up, Inka Dinka? How are you doing? The funny thing is, the 2 GameStops by me, the good one had only 30 Switch 2s for order. 400 in line? Holy cow. The shady GameStop had 150 Switch 2s and only 5 in line. That's wild that they split their inventory like that, but glad you got a Switch 2. Yeah, don't order a Switch 2 on Walmart and then buy the Switch 2 combo package on Walmart and then, oh no, my order got canceled. Why? His whole social engineering story made no sense to me. Absolutely 0 sense. I don't know if anyone bought it. What's up, Cyber? How you doing? I was watching you earlier, Tevin, so I appreciate you going over the daily wrap and the and the pre-stream today. An interesting crash out. Getting over a cold, nice. Hopefully you feel better soon. What's up, 6-star neck phones? The Tractor Fox, welcome. Exodus with the $2 super chat. He says Kikoken. That's Chun Li's projectile, right? Thank you so much to Tractor Fox for the subscription. Welcome to the workshop. I don't cover the guy in my content, but I still keep up to date a little bit, so I will briefly talk about him, but these days now I'm painting and playing games, so. Kikoken is Tien from Dragon Ball Z. Oh my god, I'm such a fake fan. What is Chun Li's projectile called? How did I get it mixed up? Anyway, Exodus, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. So Chun Li is almost done. I just want to go through some of this stuff. So like, try to clean up the edges where oh my god, if I could get my camera to focus. Where I've splashed the yellow off of the raised parts of her uniform, and then try to do maybe one more layer of blue to clean up the brush strokes. And then clean up a couple other spots, and we should be almost done. I can't believe we got a sequel to the Oblivion lockpicking. Wait, did the guy do another lockpicking segment? I didn't watch any of his Oblivion playthrough. I find when he plays like Morrowind, what's the other one? Oblivion, obviously. What was the new one? Skyrim. When he plays games like those, it's like snooze fest. Atomfall, Fallout, all of that stuff. Not enough going on to keep me interested. I'd much rather he play Street Fighter. Street Fighter and scream and rage. And crash out at that. he had the exact same issues. And I'm guessing they didn't update the mechanics from game to game. What's up, Gamp? I ain't missing much. I appreciate that. First time chat, welcome to the stream. They didn't change the mechanics. So this is like the third time that he's played Oblivion. Because he even talked about playing it recently. And then, of course, there's the old footage. So he's played this multiple times, and we still don't know how to lockpick? I'm surprised Bethesda updated the game at all. They have new voice actors. I mean, I hope Sir Patrick Stewart's still in there. Where do I go? What is this? How do I do that? Oh, look at wall. Look at the... Now, guys, support installed. If anything, the Kino Casino arc has absolutely, tremendously destroyed him when it comes to begging these days. Because now it's, we got to get back on track. We got to clap into the microphone. Let's get the momentum. He's got all these like little catchphrases that he just throws out, and it's just constant. I mean, he's got long-term watchers like 672 and Jade who stopped tuning in just because it's constant. We got to get the support goal. Oh, we're so close to the support goal. We're halfway to the support goal. There's 1 hour left in the stream. There's 18 minutes left in the stream. It's gross. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like he calls other people's stuff non-tent, but it's the most non-tent thing ever. Jade isn't there anymore. Jade doesn't talk as much anymore. I think Jade tuned in today to say that he spent most of the time he spent most of the stream playing Marvel Rivals instead of interacting with DSP and with chat. And I think it's funny and sad that Jade plays Rivals with other chatters. Then with hey, what's up, Dai? How are you doing? What have you done to my girl Chun Li? She's in pieces. Easier to paint when she's in pieces, but we'll finish up a couple spots, and then we should be ready to glue her up. I'm excited to use my little alligator clip stand and my little alligator clips, so hopefully this helps me hold her steady. I mean, it's almost to the level, like, the whole stream is just asking for support and barely doing anything. Am I using glue or model cement? I'm using Gorilla Glue. That's okay. Hopefully the head's not too heavy for the alligator clip. Okay, so I'm gonna try to clean up the neck part in the middle there, and then set her aside to dry. And then I tried to clean up her eyes off stream a little bit. I ended up overcoloring the brown, so we're gonna add the brown back in. But it's an unfortunate pose for her head because she's tilting her head forward, so it makes her brow really prominent on the sculpt. Okay, so I've got my yellow. Sorry, I'm out of practice. I've had so much work stuff this week. Here's my other problem is I need my camera just a little bit more over. Okay. Get some blue. Should have used the crocodile clip. Alligator, crocodile. Now, I've glued some other models with the Gorilla Glue, and it works really well. You put like 1 dot every inch, and you get intense grippage on the pieces. Hard to take it apart, but the nice thing is there's only one hard spot, so if you do need to take it apart, it's pretty easy. Work's been giving it to me. Yeah, this is a big week for one of my largest accounts. And then they've been contacting me constantly, even after hours, for assistance. So that's why I've canceled so many streams. I've just been in the thick of it. Hopefully I sound okay. Troubleshooted some mic stuff earlier, so... That just messed it up. No, that doesn't look too bad. Making potatoes with ham, have like 42 pounds of ham and must use some of it? How are you going to eat 42 pounds of ham before it goes bad? You're going to be sick of ham by the time you're done. That is crazy. I would run out of ideas of what to cook. Froze almost all of it. Oh, okay. You need to eat what didn't fit in the freezer. Yeah. Your poor freezer is just full of ham. I'm assuming salaried. Yeah. Not to talk too much about, you know, IRL stuff, but I am salary, so I ain't getting paid extra to go in after hours. Tiny brush is working out pretty well. When I was picking up the alligator clips and the new paint, I was looking for new brushes, but Hobby Lobby is horrible when you're looking for more precision specific equipment like paint brushes. I was like, hey, we've got the hobby set of brushes, and you look and it's basically like 6 of the same brush. Too bad. So I think I'll just, if I need to buy more brushes, I'll just buy them off of Amazon. I think that's where I got these the first time. Oh, and the other part of why I need to calm down today. Before the stream, I was like, okay, I'm home from work early. I'm going to play some Marvel Rivals, play some ranked, try to get my, or play some competitive, try to get my ranked up. Played 7 games, lost 5 of them, and my rank ended up being the same. So I would have been the same rank if I played any other game today. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn the game off. We're going to chill. We're going to paint. We're not going to crash out. Chun Li's almost done. We can work on the next model, which will be Corin from Fire Emblem. So something I saw from other hand cam streamers, what's up, Mercenary, was a camera like at chest level and would be shooting across this way. So when I'm working on a piece and you guys can't see what I'm doing from this angle, it'd be more head on. You guys might have a better idea, but I think having multiple camera angles while doing this could be pretty cool. I need to get something that pulls my camera out just a little bit further, so when I do the up close stuff, it's not off camera, and I can actually see what I'm doing. My main cam's chest level, I like that angle. You know, I was thinking the other day about asking you for some tips, and I was like, I don't want to bother him. He's got his own thing going. But yeah, I could clamp it like right here at the front of the desk at chest level. A few hours ago, I came back from the Gunpla shop to pick up my master grade Vidar with whatever else I needed to pick up while I was over there. So I almost picked up a couple high grades at Hobby Lobby. I decided against it, but they had Heavy Arms, which is one of my favorites, and they had Neo Japan from G Gundam, which is just a really cool Gundam. I think it would have been fun not only to assemble it, but come in here with some of the paint and like add you know, scratches or burns or bullet holes or whatever, you know, make them a little bit weathered and battle scarred. I think that stuff's really cool. But then I was like, my backlog of 3D models is already so high that I didn't want to make it worse. I got every version of Master Grade Heavy Arms released to this current point, so the regular one you find on the shelf, the Ingales version and the custom. I think it's the Ingales version because it was red. I know Heavy Arms custom is blue from the Endless Waltz. Yeah, Gunpla is cool. Ingales is a web shop kit with extra missile packs. Oh, then I got whatever. I had access to whatever version is the red one, but like I said, I held off on it for now. Someone told me they do like 40% off sales at Hobby Lobby on the Gunpla stuff, so I was like, okay, I'll wait for a sale. I don't need to buy it right now. Hey, what's up, Dave? How are you doing tonight? Got off work. Nice. It's almost Friday, dude. We're almost there. If you're looking for regular kits, Hobby Lobby is my best bet. But since I need access to web stuff that I can't make the windows where my local shop comes in. Nice. Well, it's cool that you have a local shop that does just Gunpla. Don't be afraid to reach out. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. I might hit you up. It probably won't be tonight. I'll want to think about... Well, I'm going to be busy this weekend. I'll want to think about my questions. But yeah, I would appreciate that. Cosmic Ronald, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the workshop. Secret LSB channel. It's not a secret. I posted on the old channel where the content was going to be. I've been here. If this is a secret, it's the worst kept secret. But no, hey, glad to have you here. What's up, K-Dun? How are you doing? Super secret, just like the Discords, right? I'm implying I had a life before VTubing? No, I'm implying I had another VTubing channel before this channel. But I got raided by a group of people who know about the old channel. So that's why they're saying, oh, secret channel. And that's why I'm saying, it's not a secret. I told you on the old channel where I was going. People can't read. I don't think at the time YouTube was like doing a good job like boosting community stuff. So I made a community post about it, and you know, it's been 4 years ago, and illiterate. See, there you go, Di. He can't read. Did you get a Switch too, Cosmic? Or did Walmart cancel your order too? Shoot, that was a little bit too heavy on the paint. Not yet. Oh, okay, we saved it. I'm scalping the Switch too. Yeah, my army of bots picked them all up. Still waiting to see what games they put out. So you weren't sold on Mario Kart? Sorry guys, I need to do this one up close so I can see what I'm doing. No rush for Switch 2 since there's no Xenoblade and Fire Emblem. There's Kirby Air Riders. That's about it. But if it's playable on the regular Switch, I can't remember if they said it's backwards compatible or not. I'm not in a rush. You need to do a little bit of skin color on the inside of the collar piece. Future still question mark to spend money on a console. Hey, what's up, Lux? We're finishing Chun Li, yep. No Star Fox, no new Metroid. No, there is a new Metroid. Isn't the new Prime coming out? Prime 4 or whatever? If you make it to Japan, I'll buy the cheaper one there. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Vallejo 815 is the skin tone we're using. I don't have my P3 paints because they went out of business. So, Vallejo's been a good interim brand. It's still coming out on Switch 1. Oh, okay. Right. That makes sense. Finished my Ogre model. I sent you a pic. I'll have to... I can't easily Alt-Tab on this computer. So I'll take a look later. And yeah, I'll print the Succubus this weekend. So that way I'll be ready for our fun little contest. I might opt for the Switch 2 Lite. I didn't know they had Lite versions coming out. I don't want to cover my keyboard with paint. Look, I'm on a whole separate computer. So, the keyboard I have is a wireless Bluetooth one, and I don't have... It's tucked away because I have my whole desk dedicated to painting. So I'd have to dig it out. And I don't quite feel like doing that. I got a Switch Lite and it was a good console. Nice. Yeah, if you only play it in handhold, that makes sense. Save yourself $100. I use the same computer for all my streams. I just swap mics, long cables. Huh. Now this is using my old mic, and then the other computer has the newer mic. Well, I need like a camera on my forehead So that way, when I pull this up to my face to do the up close work, you guys can see what I see. And go, oh yeah, you definitely need to clean that up. POV camera, yeah, like those videos online. Not that I would know about it, they're banned in my state. Oh, glasses cams, the meta glasses. There's an idea. Cameras get expensive. My main camera's like $800. Well, this camera's a $200 one, or was it $400? How much is the Logitech Brio? That's the camera that I have. I can't remember how much I spent on it. And it was only okay for a 4K camera. What brand paint am I using? I'm using Vallejo Model Color. I would use P3 if they still made P3, but they don't, so. Here we are. This is fancy paint? I thought this was pretty average paint. Spending that much on a webcam as well, the drivers limit it so much. The issue I ran into with the Brio was, it's a USB 3.0 camera. Okay, so I put it in a blue USB slot, right? Not a big deal. Or I would think it's not a big deal. But then it was like, only some USB 3.0 slots worked. So it was I had to hunt and pack and unplug and plug in my different USB 3.0s to find one where the camera was like, oh, okay, I work now. Get a real camera and a capture card? Yeah. But I already have the capture card for the games. Though, this computer has a capture card too. Because this computer was originally going to be my streaming computer, so I was going to do the dual computer setup. But I couldn't get the audio to work, and so this computer kind of just sat around for a while, and now I was like, you know what? I could set up this whole space for Legos and painting and unboxing if we want to do that. I have a board game I thought about unboxing. I got for Christmas, and I haven't unboxed it yet. It was like a $150 board game, so I'm like, okay, it's got to have tons of pieces. So I think it would be pretty fun to open up and look at it. Sorry, I am gamer facing right now to get the brown of her eye back in because I painted over it. The problem with the tiny brushes is they don't hold a whole lot of paint, so I gotta dip in and out. That's gotta be good enough, I think. "4K part's a lie anyway." Yeah, I put it in 1080p mode anyway. I'm not streaming in 4K, so it doesn't need to be in 4K. And it can't do 60 FPS in 4K, so... What's up to work to spec? She's in pieces, don't worry about her. But maybe that's why she's making such an angry face. Pieces of peas, yep. I wish I had a Cami model. I would print Cami. just a tiny bit of yellow on the neck piece. Clean up where I accidentally put some blue. This playlist is pretty sick. I like white bat audio. This is pretty nice stuff. Real 4K camera would be nice because you could zoom into different areas. Oh, I didn't think about that. I did talk about this on one of the other streams, was having another top-down camera, but one that was set to a higher zoom, so I could show the piece like here while I'm working on it, and then over here for extra detail. Hey, I think we're gonna... Hey, what's up, Reggie? How are you doing? I think I'm gonna set her down. I think we're done. Yeah. With a good camera, you could do both with a single camera, but like money. Oh. Maybe I'll experiment it with the Brio. If it does a true 4K, I don't know. Like if I have a separate button for a zoom or a scene swap or something. Well, I was going to try to paint these over with ivory, but I might do a really watered down white just to try to clean up some of the brush strokes. I don't know if that comes through on the camera, if it'll focus. There you go. Nope, the light is washing it out. I see brush strokes on it, so maybe we'll do a quick layer of white. You get all your paint at the dollar store, Lux? These are like $3.99 a tin. So I didn't think they were that expensive. Hey, what's up, Sylvian? You got the Switch 2 pre-order. Nice, congrats. I hope you didn't get it from Walmart. I heard they cancel pre-orders. All right, just one watered down layer of white. Try to make it less blue and a little bit more white and cover up the brush strokes. GameStop. And I've been hearing GameStop did a pretty good job. Red was saying that's where they got theirs. Not as crazy as trying to get Fire Emblem 14 Special Edition. I need to get my numbers down. Which one's 14? Fates. Oh, the Special Edition would be all 3 games on one cartridge, right? Hey, what's up, Abby? Just got off work, chilling. Nice, nice. Hopefully your week's been good. I almost said beak. Your beak's been... DSP got felt. I think he played himself. I think he, What did he do this time? Oh. See, guys, you got me. We're talking about the guy. Now poor Abby has to be filled in on the lore. So, Switch 2 pre-orders started last night, and the guy went on to every website that was doing pre-orders and tried to sign up for pre-orders, and he ended up on Walmart, where he was in line for the standard edition and the combo edition. The combo edition being the one that comes with Mario Kart World. And he put both in his cart The problem with that, now he did them in 2 different pre-orders. So he got through the line on the standard edition, paid for the standard edition, thought he was getting it June 5th or whenever it releases, and then apparently after the stream, he got signed up for the combo edition and bought that one as well. Well, Walmart has a policy of only 1 Switch per customer to try to stop scalping and stuff, because that just seems to always happen with technology these days, is all the GPUs and games and special edition controllers and stuff are all just getting scalped. I mean, I guess Walmart really doesn't have to care either way. I mean, they make a sale either way, but it's a nice gesture that they, try to stop it. Why would he want both is a very good question. He said originally that he wanted two consoles, one for him, one for his wife, which I don't know why, because I think they share a lot of their stuff. She's usually working while he's streaming anyway, so I have a feeling she doesn't want one. Well, then the other thing he said was, okay, well, I want a second one as backup, because when he got the Switch the first time around, he bricked it. So he was afraid that the Switch 2 was going to break on him. So then his other cope was to say, hey, what's up, Crowns? How are you doing? So that's not what he said. His other cope was to say, I'll do it as a giveaway. And what's really funny about him saying, like, let's do it as a giveaway, is he spent part of, was it last week where he was, when he did he suggested the cologne reviews, and people said, why don't you give away the cologne when you're done reviewing it? And he said, no, because giveaways are bad. But now, now that we don't have the Switch 2, we could have done a giveaway or something. I don't know. Doesn't Nintendo have like a year warranty? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never broken a Nintendo thing. I don't even have Joy-Con drift. I got pretty lucky. You know what he might give away? He might give away the box like he did before. Let's set that piece to dry. I'm trying to use the alligator clips and I still got paint in my finger. I'm not... I gotta get used to my new setup here. But I've got multiple clips, so... Give away a used digital code? That would be bad too. I got 4 pairs of Joy-Cons and all of them drift. 4 pairs, so 8 controllers and they all drift. That sucks. It would be nice to like know how to take them apart and fix it myself. Alright, so we're letting this one dry. We're gonna start painting this one. It's not like I play many games where the drift is an issue anyway, so maybe that's why I don't notice it. Like, who's gonna notice Joy-Con drift while playing Fire Emblem, Unicorn Overlord, what else? I'm trying to think of all the other games I played. Those are the big ones, though. I remember you started painting a couple weeks ago. Are you almost done with it? I think so. I did a little bit of painting off stream. I basically want to put one more layer of white on the hair pieces. Paint the spikes gray. And then on the chest piece here is where I need to do all the work. So you can see where there's some brush strokes from the blue. We just need to clean up some of the yellow. And I think I'll be ready to call her finished. I just reset it to stop the drift. I thought the drift was a hardware issue, not a sensor issue or something. I took my left Joy-Con apart. It was a jerk. I stripped the screw on the same Joy-Con. That sucks. Am I picking up Claire Obscure? Expedition 33 seems my vibe. Never heard of that, so was not on my radar. What's that game like? Bump my mat and almost knock everything over. I saw Expedition 33 looks good. It's apparently really good. Uh-oh. We might have a new game to think about. So I'm going to leave the blue in the recesses, so that way they look a little bit more like shadow, but on the top parts, I really want to try to get rid of the brush strokes, so we're going to just come across like this. At first glance from your thumbnail, I thought you were playing Street Fighter 6. No, I tried getting into Street Fighter 6 like 2 or 3 times, but I must just be bad at like actual fighting games. Like I can't get into Street Fighter. Well, I can get into it, I just can't get good at it. I like the idea of Street Fighter. I like the idea of fighting games. There's a lot of strategy to fighting games, which I find very interesting. But my problem is I must have like really poor brain to finger coordination, because I'll be like, okay, I want to do this combo or this move or counter this, and I end up mashing all the buttons and doing absolutely nothing. I love fighting games, I just suck at them. Yeah, exactly. This is why Nintendo made Smash Brothers. Yeah, I need games like Smash Brothers, so that way I can feel like I'm good at a fighting game. Someone was working on a mod of adding people to Street Fighter 6, and I said, oh, could you make me Luke so I can take people to Memphis? And he sent me a work in progress, and I was like, oh baby, that looks pretty cool. Blade Strangers was inspired by Smash Brothers. Is that the one? No, never mind. I thought that was the one that had some drama, but maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I feel like there's always fighting game drama for some reason. Maybe, I should amend that statement. There's always drama for some reason. Yeah, when I was trying to get back into Street Fighter the third time, I was like, okay, I'll buy like a leverless fight pad. It was like, do I really want to try to play a game and have to buy like a $200 controller to do it? So I ended up just talking myself out of trying to learn how to play again. Okay, just one more layer of white on the bottom here. So they have a dedicated controller. Rhythm games, the controllers are expensive. What's really funny is, as far as rhythm games go, if you've ever heard of Osu, which is like a clicking game, the best controller to use with that is a tablet, apparently. So you just tap the pen on the tablet to click on the buttons in rhythm. That's apparently the meta for that game. Blade Strangers is a fighting game, but with simple button mechanics. That sounds like my cup of tea. I wish I got into more fighting games. I've been watching so many videos on Third Strike. I love Third Strike. For having never played it in my life. The music is perfect, the graphics are perfect, the character selection is perfect. But then I'll watch a video that says Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is fundamentally broken, and here's why. But even that video ends with a positive note that says, this is the most fun Street Fighter there is. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 looked interesting. Another game I never played. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I wasn't super good at it, but it was enjoyable. I don't know, I just miss like the pixelated anime fighting graphics. I'm telling you, you would love Power Stone. Maybe. Like I said, I enjoy playing fighting games, I just suck at them. And then I get to the part of my brain where it's like, if I'm not winning at the game or learning the game, I'm going to hate the game and I'm not going to want to play it. Because I've played games where you got to lose like your first 100 matches before you win one. Because then it's like, after you lose and 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 you lose in all the ways that you're capable of losing, then your brain is like wired to go, okay, don't do that because you could lose to this. Don't do that, you can lose to this. Don't do that, you can lose. So, you know, you're playing smartly. So, I don't know. If Street Fighter's like that, then maybe I just need to lose 300 times to every character and then I'll figure out how to play. Very Bruce Lee mentality. That's how I learned how to play War Machine back in the day. Was the tabletop game that I used to play. I played a little bit of Warhammer, but I found War Machine to be more interesting because it had steampunk mechs, and the concept to me was really cool. But all the guys at the game store, you know, they all taught me the same way. Was just play, and if you play, you'll lose, but you'll at least learn why. And learn how to play around not losing. And then eventually, after you play enough of learn how to not lose, then you start to figure out how to win. And I thought I was pretty good. I played in a few tournaments of that game. It was actually kind of funny. One of the tournaments we played, I was playing against one of the guys who taught me the game. And he was pretty big at our local game store. I think he was part of organizing the tournament, organizing some of the play. He bought a lot of the terrain for the game store, so like for the community to use. So I thought that was very nice of him to buy wargaming terrain and donate it. Very, very nice guy. But when he matched up against me in the tournament, he's like, Bill's gonna be an easy win. He's still new, he's still figuring things out. But I had a new, what were they called? Warcasters? Were those the commanders in that game? And I had a new Warcaster. And this guy was pretty... This guy had a spell, which was unique to him. No one else in the game had this spell. But I could spend, I think it was 3 focus. Focus was like your mana that you would get every turn. And I could just resurrect one whole model. So I only played him with expensive models. So my army was very small, but very elite. And if one of them got knocked off, then I'm just, I can resurrect it. So I just ground this guy down by sheer attrition. He'd kill, this is War Machine, or Hordes. Warma Hordes was the nickname in the community for both versions of the game. But you had a War Beast version of the game and you had the steampunk version of the game, but the rules were the same. So you could mix both of the games together because the rules were the same. And did I play to win? Yeah, I always pay to. Oh, not pay to win. No. This guy had way more models than I did. I just had a strategy where I played a lot of elite characters, and then I could resurrect those characters, at least one model every turn, and I just won through attrition. So he'd have to spend so many resources to kill one of my guys, and then I could just boop, bring the guy right back next turn, you know? I just painted some gray and I lost. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah, this is a tabletop war game. very similar to Warhammer, but I liked it because it had steampunk and smaller model counts, so I didn't have to buy so many models. If I ever got back into Warhammer, I'd play Custodes, so that way I don't have to buy so many models. When I first played Warhammer, I played Space Marines because I thought, oh, Space Marines are cool elite troops. You don't need so many of them to flesh out an army. Because I was in middle school when I first played Warhammer, so I only had a very limited allowance to buy my pieces, you know. And I wanted to play an army that was, you know, easy to learn, but also easy on the wallet. Because I didn't have a lot of money as a kid. Now I just don't have the time as the adult to want to paint so many figures. And then when you're playing the game, it's like, unless I bring a bucket of dice, I don't want to play like orcs and like have, you know, 900 attacks a turn to try to resolve combat. So yeah, if I ever went back into Warhammer, I'd play Custodes. Just give me a small number of elite models. And then I just love the idea of, you know, like, pretend it's like a 1,000-point game and I just put down 10 models. They're each like 100 points each. They're pretty badass. And then my opponent's feeling, you know, he's got maybe a support tank or something, and then like 3 squads, so he's playing like 30 or 40 models. And, you know, it's like, okay, we're outnumbered, but we're an elite fighting force. And then you just hope your opponent doesn't roll like a 6, you know, 6 sixes and wipe out half your army in one turn. No, not that I have anywhere to play war games these days. But if I ever got back into it, that's what I would do. The chill stream I needed after this. What's up, Insectoid? Welcome to the chill, relax. I've had a hell of a week too, but we are unwinding with chill synthwave and relaxing painting. Not my department, but sounds amazing. The other thing I've been missing is playing Magic the Gathering. Like, in-person Magic the Gathering. I've been watching some of my favorite channels do, like, cube drafts, and I have a cube. And I used to draft it with friends and family, but we've all grown up and moved away to chase jobs and stuff, and I have a cube and no way to draft it. Have I heard or seen Indie Cross? I have not. Is that a TV show? Game? Which Phil needs to be energetic to the audience. The only energy he has is with asking for support these days. I need to move on from Magic the Gathering. Recent Magic the Gathering hasn't really excited me, but I have a cube of old cards, so, you know, my powerful cards back in my day, so I just wanted to play those again. You know, back when Tarmogoyf was still, like, the premier green creature. Now there's so many just, like, green creatures that do so much. And they also have, like, Barrow-Goyf and all those other... that whole cycle of Goyfs that they printed. It's like, hey, we're Tarmogoyf, but cheaper, and we have Death Touch and Lifelink and Escape. And it's like, oh, I didn't know we needed to make Tarmogoyf better. Currently playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel on Switch. Nice. Never been big on Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself. But I see the appeal. Goyf was at its peak at nearly $200. Yep. And my dumbass went and got foil Goyfs because I was like, they're never gonna print a better green creature. Stupid me. YouTube fan animation of Indie game crossover. They have amazing voice acting, fight scenes, and OSTs. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. It's a YouTube series called Indie Cross? Or I'll check that out. Imagine if you had to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like in the anime, preceding every card with a 10-minute monologue. I have seen the videos get recommended to me that are like, how Yugi's deck makes no sense or something. It's like they made the anime have like the cards, but they didn't put any thought why the cards would be in the deck. I think Devil R Times worked on that series. Okay. Have to follow the anime rules saying the name of the attack? Yeah, otherwise the attack doesn't do anything. I wonder where that came about. Who did that first? What anime was the first to have a character shout their attack? When we watched the anime, my fiance told me which cards didn't exist in game and the rules they ignored. I would find that interesting. Watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show with someone who knows the game. And be like, alright, so Karibo doesn't do that. When Kazuki made the game, he didn't think too much of it through. How did it get so popular then with like no thought? Actually, no, I know the answer to that. The manga was rather popular, wasn't it? And then it got adapted and then it was turned into something completely different. And I did like I think it's kind of funny how the anime scales where, okay, we're just playing the card game. Okay, now we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On a cruise ship. I threw your Exodia overboard, which, screw that kid. I'm gonna throw your best cards overboard. And then it was like, okay, now we're gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh! On motorcycles. They did all the cool stuff. When you play Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life, you only sometimes play it life or death. Versus seemingly always in the anime. I don't think I've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! For life or death. That's a crazy rule set to try to adapt. Yeah, the King of Games thing, there's an anime called Logic King trying to replicate Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I remember reading the first manga in Shonen Jump. And it was, you know, Yugi turns into the King of Games, challenges a bully to a knife, you stab money in your hand kind of game, and the guy loses and he gets sent to hell, the Shadow Realm. And that was what he got for unlocking the Millennium Puzzle. But in the anime, he unlocks the Millennium Puzzle and becomes good at a card game. No power to send people to hell. How do we get from there to Wacky Monsters? Oh, who cares? I don't know. I don't question where the chat goes. I just follow the wave, follow the flow. That who cares sounded kind of harsh. I'm really sorry. The censorship Shadow Realm always funny to me. Oh, you mean how did Yu-Gi-Oh! Go from bizarre game to monsters? That's a good question. I honestly don't know that. Con Wooble, thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about anime here. Yeah, we're rocking the fingerless gloves. You know, which covers up the nastiness of my arms and then still looks cool. And then leaves my fingers exposed so I can do the painting, which I am doing off camera again. I joke, my arms aren't nasty, it's just any other time I've seen people do hand cam streams, they've always got gloves on. I'm at least wise enough to trim my nails before coming onto the stream. So you don't see these gnarly claws with dirt under them or something. Hey, thanks so much, Dai. I'll hit you up with questions as I think about them. But I appreciate you hanging out. Hope your dinner of 42 pounds of ham was really good. Oh, smart. Yeah, well, even though I am a VTuber, I do think about stream presentation. I do shower more than, once a week. So that way I don't have to cover myself up with cologne. The next thing I need to buy is probably masking tape. That'll make it easier to make such clean lines on this stuff as I headbutt the microphone. Okay, we'll let those spikes dry. Use the painter's tab? Oh, painter's tape. Sorry. Yeah, that's what masking tape, painter's tape, same idea. Some paint or tape that won't peel the paint off, but will isolate pieces that we want. Sorry, I just pulled a guy thing where you typoed and then I pretended like I couldn't understand what you're saying. I'm so sorry. What's up, Wildcard? I'm being so toxic tonight. What happened to me? Hey, what's up, Burdock? How are you doing? I'm the alchemy expert when it comes to cologne. I don't wear cologne. I have a couple colognes, but I only wear cologne when it's a, sorry, I did the tongue click thing. I always hate hearing when people do that. When it's a special occasion, that's the only time I wear cologne. I don't wear it to work. I don't wear it all that often. I don't mind it as like a present, so that's how I end up with a couple. Chilling, hangovering, nice. Hopefully you're not too hungover. To chat, did you know that UK's version of Dollar Store and Dollar General is called Poundland and Pound Town? Spread the word. I think we need to change currencies. I like Pound Town more than Dollar General. Thank you so much, Dave, for the $5 super chat. But may make them in-game, right? I don't know if I've played a game that has cologne in them. There's a fairly popular streamer that wears cologne all the time when he's streaming. There's this guy on the internet who's like semi-famous, and he's in our game. One of Pound Town's slogans is "Come and give it a chance." You might like it. That's genius marketing right there. Do they have like Euro General in like European stores? Let's try and make a joke about colognes. I was trying to follow your joke, but I'm sorry I didn't get it. I apologize. I'm not trying to be obtuse. Can I say an ADHD joke? It's PG? Yeah, sure. Haven't seen one myself, but I think there is. See, we got a European guy that can tell us that. Gamer facing. Sorry. Just trying to paint real cautiously. I have no clue what's HD, but my doctor told me I have 80 of them. When you asked for permission, I was worried that it was gonna be bad, but that's not bad. It's like the South Park joke where Cartman's trying to get an Asperger's diagnosis. So he goes to the school's nurse and he puts burgers in his pants. And the nurse is like, "Why do you have burgers down the back of your pants?" And he's like, "Oh my god, it must be Asperger's." My sculpture looks good. Thank you. I didn't design it, but we printed it and painted it ourselves. Obtuse, I try to be cute when talking about these things. You are just a little acute, aren't you? I thought Europe was in the Andromeda Galaxy. Hang on, what are you referencing? The angle joke didn't take, I see. No, I got it. I'm smiling. You can't see it, but well, the next model will be a full body. It'll be Corrin from Fire Emblem. I'm doing America equals Earth. Okay, that's why I didn't quite get it. At least you threw a goat laugh in there. Does he still do... He doesn't do the buzzing bee laugh anymore, does he? We don't go... Zzz. That was back in my day, so he probably doesn't do that. It's been several years since the bee laugh. Hey! Pass the remote has subscribed for 18 months. Thank you so much for the re-up, dude. That's a year and a half. I appreciate the support. Hope you're doing well over there on Twitch. But that's a re-up. That doesn't count. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate you. I've been toxified. I've been talking about Dave all night. trying to talk about other topics, and I keep landing back on Dave. "2019 vibes, bro." Before everything went to crap with COVID and everything. Yeah. Spent my Google allowance on gotcha. Yeah. Oh, not you, Dave. Sorry. There's another streamer that's nicknamed Dave. There's a lot of inside jokes about him, so when we're all laughing about it, that's what's going on. Spent your Google allowance on gotcha. I hope you got some sick waifus, though. Or, some sweaty Hulk Hogan's, whatever you prefer. Today was a hell of a day. Bro, what's with everyone having bad days, bad weeks? Or at least rough. Oh, here we go. I was like, where's the... Was I just using this one for gray? No, I think it was the other one. Some people call it the other product. I will be honest, I have not kept up with PWR at all. I will say his trajectory is, has been quite funny. I do feel bad that, allegedly he was a DSP fan and then DSP blocked him. But I'm not so sure, because he said he was a fan and then was like streaming on his birthday. So I don't know how much of a fan you can be if you're like taking views away from the guy on his birthday. PWR calls him the other product. That's pretty good though. I lost my Philosopher's Stone pre-order, only one per Alchemist. Dang. Yeah, that'll get me. We like our Philosopher's Stones over here. Except the ones made from people, we don't like those. But thankfully the Philosopher's Stone in the Atelier games is a little bit more forgiving. That you don't need to sacrifice human souls to make it. Get to the hard part here in a little bit, which is going to be touching up the chest. I could merge my daughter with my dog. No, Rocky, I don't have a daughter. No one to merge. I can't believe that someone at, what, Amy or Good Smile or whatever was like, hey, let's make a Shao Tucker model or figurine and sell that. I'm sure that'll sell. One of the most despicable characters in the entire show. And he's only around for like 2 episodes. It's not like he's a major character. He just does one of those heinous acts imaginable and then gets, I don't know, sentenced to death or something. Can't remember what happens to him. He's just not a very nice guy. Am I allowed to touch up the chest on Twitch? We'll see. We are in the model and figurine category. We're trying that one out. Instead of art or just chatting. He gave a generation of anime fans PTSD. Yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist had a couple of twists like that. It was a really good anime. Sets you up for anime like Attack on Titan that also has some pretty insane twists too. And people you like dying all the time. I'd love to watch the whole thing again and Attack on Titan again. Yeah. Dry. I think I got all the spikes. I think the light gray looks pretty good as opposed to just leaving it white. I like the BG music. Stream is too chill right now. Yeah, White Bat Audio, new playlist they just dropped yesterday. So, royalty-free music for YouTube backgrounds. Even though the guy said that's physically impossible to stream royalty-free because you still end up copyright struck somehow. I don't know how or why he thought that was the case. I also like that this guy spent like $10,000 on new streaming equipment, and he had a crash earlier today too. So that money and upgrade really going to work there. Bring up the Turners and you can see old anime fans get psychic damage. Turners? What show are the Turners in? Imagine a cheetah that was cross-eyed chasing a gazelle and seeing two of them synchronized running away. That cheetah would starve. And you looking to model kit, model paint setup for streams? Yeah, if you want to ask me for any advice, I'd be happy to help. And anything I can't answer, I'll pass on to Dai. He does strictly hand cam streams, but they're all tea and cooking related, I think. Or if you're interested in some 3D kits like Chun Li, I can help you there too. My paint's starting to dry. So much for a wet palette. There we go. Oh, you messed up the Fullmetal Alchemist joke. Oh, so instead of Turners, you meant the Tuckers. Yeah. It's like him and Griffith are up there for like some of the most despicable anime characters ever. You have enough gunpla to get started. All right. Can do gunpla like everyone else, but if you wanted like a Tifa or something in the future, or a Samus. I do have a Samus model that's really cool, but I have a backlog of pieces, so I want to get those done before we move on to some of the new models I have. And then after I clear the backlog, what I would like to do is put it to a vote for what we print next. But I've got, after Chun Li, we've got Corrin, which all I need to do is paint. Power from Chainsaw Man, which also just needs to be painted. And then Momo and Okaroon from Dan to Dan, which need to be snipped, sanded, and painted. So we'll see the whole process for that one. What about Kahaku from Inuyasha? That one doesn't ring a bell to me. Oh, we might have changed playlist. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I'm still on White Bat Audio. Oh no, we got 7 minutes left on this playlist. Okay, well now that I have the keyboard out. Oh, that ogre looks really cool, Lux. I don't know if you're still there. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on Steam, $45, Metacritic 92. Is this like a Dark Souls game, or is this... I'll have to look at the Steam page. Oh, hang on, this song's getting... Nice. Erebus from Warhammer 40k. Unfortunately, Games Workshop's pretty strict on non-official models being printed, so I don't have access to Erebus. One of my artists had a really cool Titus model but I didn't sign up on their Patreon in time before they got C and D'd, so they don't have it anymore. But I still see people print and paint Titus because they were able to, you know, get the model. But it's a shame. It was a really cool school. Oh, on the rank of hated characters. Yeah, Erebus is pretty... Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Kahaku from Inuyasha. So that was the demon that cursed everyone, right? Including Moroku? It's been a long time since I saw Inuyasha. But Erebus is pretty hated too, right? I wish I knew my Warhammer lore better. Erebus can eat it. Just take a spoon and eat it. He ruined the dream? What did he do? Yeah, my paint got... My blue splash mixed with my yellow. I need to make a separate... spot of blue in my palette. This is a rabbit hole you'll get into eventually. I listen to those Warhammer lore videos to fall asleep to every once in a while. It's how I ended up falling in love with the Kriegsmarine. Was hearing about the siege of Vrax and well, how the Deathcore Krieg came about. Those guys are really cool. Same with the Wretches and the Word Bearers. Oh, my other favorite chapter in Warhammer now is the Carcharodons. I'm not saying that correctly. But these guys are exiled to the warp, like actually fighting stuff. They don't have a home planet. The shark ones, yeah. And they just show up when needed. They only speak High Gothic, so like everyone's like, oh, these guys sound weird. They're using like 5th generation power armor, so they're like, what? They look weird. They're not using up-to-date Arcana or Armory stuff, and then they just like kick ass in dead silence because they're just like that reverent or psychotic, whichever. And I was like, all right, those guys sound pretty cool. I thought they had a planet. No, I thought they were just an entirely nomadic chapter. That all they had were their fleet ships. They didn't have really anything else. Just dropped it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought, that they were fleet-based. But yeah, the Krieg are also really cool. Just extremely trained and disciplined. No fear. Probably fear-inspiring with the gas masks and stuff. Oh, that brushstroke was so sexy. I wish I had it on camera. I think I missed it. But I just like hit the edge between yellow and blue exactly perfectly. We edged it perfectly. Just don't ask too many questions where it'll come from. Yeah, is the running theory that they're using like artificial wombs or something to like develop their soldiers so quickly. Perhaps. I just imagine you sitting back in your chair like Peter Griffin going, perhaps. Clones? Clones would be interesting. I heard one theory that was like they were clones of Yurton or whoever the commander was. Which would be sick if true, but I don't know if I believe in a clone army. Though I guess Star Wars had a clone army, so Warhammer having a clone army isn't that far off. Vrax was another interesting story. Or this guy, I think he became like a bishop or something in the Empire. And then he was like, you know, I'm pretty important. All these people love me. We'll just quietly secede. You know, so they weren't like turning to chaos, but chaos was like, wait, hang on. You want to leave? Well, we can help you with that. They're not going to let you leave without a fight, so you're going to want some allies to help you out, because your planetary guardsmen aren't going to be they're not going to stop in Astartes. Except they didn't bring in the Astartes, they brought in the Krieg, because Krieg knew a thing or two about sieging Hive City, because that's exactly what happened on their planet. Yeah, I haven't played Darktide in a long time, but after listening to all the Krieg stories, I was like, alright, I bought all the Krieg's cosmetic and made my veteran a Krieg's Marine. Okay, just touching up a couple spots here. It would work with artificial womb if there's genetic code beforehand, so clones are out of the realm of possibilities. No. I thought clones were a good theory. No, not the Carcharodons, the Kriegsmarines. You're way back. Whoops. That is a whoops. Are you buffering? Happy gas mask noises. We love a good siege. Trench warfare, we love that too. Shovels? Man. We're getting power swords and chain axes. Just give me a good shovel. Okay, so her left boob, I just need to clean up a little bit. Too much water. Bayonets too, yeah. We love bayonets. It's the other melee weapon of choice in trench warfare. Commissar of the Imperium, the man, the myth, the legend, Yarrick. Is Yarrick the one that the orcs are big fans of? Yes. I think that's funny. That the orcs have a favorite Yumi. I also love how the orcs are like space British people with the accents and everything. I kind of miss them in Space Marine, because in Space Marine 1, the orcs were like, Space Marine! I just love the way that they talked and shouted at you and stuff. But then you spend the whole majority of Space Marine 2 playing against the Tyranids, and they don't talk. Space Aussie? Oh, maybe. I don't know accents. Knock the hair ties over. Space Marine 3 about the Necrons. It would be cool to have the Necrons as bad guys. The Necrons were just like a plot device in Space Marine 2, I think. We had some cool Chaos guys show up in Space Marine 2, though. So that brought some dialogue back to the game. I remember people calling Space Marine 2 woke because the Imperial Guard captain was an ugly, not a hot lady, and it's like, dude, it's 40k. 40k is not well known for having attractive people in it. you're in it's a grim, dark world. People are gonna be injured and battle scarred and torn up, and yeah. My favorite moment in watching another streamer was Calliope from Hololive played Space Marine 2. And she gets to the part where you reinforce the Cadians. And she goes, okay, little guys, you did good. You can go home now. But she doesn't know the lore, so she's telling Cadians to go home. It's like, oh, the poor Cadians. There's some badass lines about that too. That the planet broke before the guard did. Oh, what a sick line. What a sick piece of propaganda from the game. That's so cool. Which one called them Canadians? Oh shoot. I don't know. I only know about the Mori. I only know about Mori telling the Cadians to go home. If you're interested in games like 40k but don't want to spend money, Mordheim and Kill Them is a good alternative. It's smaller games, one squad. Mordheim is mini agnostic. Okay, cool. That does sound like something I would enjoy. Shoot, that's not wet enough. Need to dab just a little bit. I'm about to paint some yellow over that. Other mini game I've been looking at is Trench Crusade. I've had a couple people recommend that one to me. Hey, look, Luminous Dave just mentioned it. Yeah, Trench Crusade was trying to get into the dark genre. I don't know anything about the lore, but I've heard that it's that kind of dark. Yeah, it looks cool, but I haven't dug deep into it yet. I really don't know where to start with it. Trying to clean up the lines of her uniform. So there's spots like right here where there's just a little bit of blue shining through. Yeah, I don't know anything about the lore to even say it looks interesting. I just know the models look cool. It's about as far as my deep dive in the game has been. I'm doing a big no-no and painting with the tip of the brush, but I need precision. That was almost a perfect line. The more I paint these, the more my technique will hopefully develop. Plus, this particular artist, Chun Li's a little bit of an older sculpt for him. Some of his newer sculpts, I think, are going to be a little bit easier to paint. Just because he's gotten better at it, too. On camera. Sorry guys. I was like, yeah, that looks good, and then I look up and like it's all off. Come across this way. Yeah. Try to wet the paint down so we get in the recesses pretty good. What's wrong? He's just like staring at the wall and chuffing. If there's a Grimdark, is there an anti-Grim? Is there like a light universe? Is that what you're saying? Like something that's just so peachy keen? I don't think that's as interesting. But maybe. My Little Pony? Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Shoot. What's up, Drooper? How are you doing? It's called Hope Punk. Actually, I didn't know there was a phrase for it. That sounds cool. I might look into that just for fun. I think if I get a couple spots on the back. Kind of saw the Pokemon games as Hope Punk. It showed a peaceful world where nature and technology had perfect synergy. That's an interesting theory, or a way to look at it. But you don't think there's strife in the Pokemon? Well, I guess you'd fight to remove the strife. Like the Team Rocket or the Rocket clones. Whatever they call Team Rocket in the other titles. But you're still doing battles. Go. Oops. There we go. Okay. There's conflict, of course, but if you really think about the powerful Pokemon should be, it's pretty peaceful, all things considered. I guess. Because they do mention, like, some of the powers of the Pokemon being, like, changing the universe. Maybe I should give a layer of white to the sash around the middle. Yeah, when you get a close-up like that, it looks kind of bad, but maybe not too bad. Oh, I need to do the inside of the sleeves. You can see how messy those are. Just ask Trump, Putin, Z what they would do with the animals that could shoot lightning and explode. True. I guess you're right that Pokemon is pretty peaceful when you think about someone could just have like a shotgun of Pokeballs full of Voltorbs that no explode. It's not too much paint on the brush. I think in Kalos lore, they mentioned a war, but imagine how violent a modern war with Pokemon could be. True. I'm sure there are guns still in the world. They talk about weapons in the Pokemon special manga. Didn't they censor guns in the Pokemon anime? So I think they had them at one point, and then 4Kids was like, no, no, no. For the love of God. My assumption is Pokemon won't kill humans. That's why humans didn't just kill each other with Pokemon immediately. Yeah, but Pokemon can injure them. I mean, that was what the whole first movie was about, right? There's also swords and the like. I guess they're seldomly used. Yeah, they had Pokemon modeled after swords. That the humans in Pokemon are also Pokemon? I haven't heard that theory. It's an interesting idea. It just seems like all one big simulation to me. Sorry, I'm painting inside the sleeve. I need to reposition my camera. Sometimes it's just hard to see what I'm doing. So note to self, second camera, better camera position. Ash does eat a Magikarp in the anime? No, really? I know they had the whole Slowpoke tail thing in the video games. But I didn't think eating Pokemon had made it to the anime. I don't know if there's any lore discussers, but it has to be some kind of reason Pokemon don't use their powerful abilities to kill humans. Oh, and then just like relegate themselves to, oh, okay, human, you have a Pokemon, I will fight your Pokemon and not you. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Isn't there a darkish Pokemon movie that had a mad scientist making Pokemon go into digital creatures? What? I'm not familiar with that one. They do not eat Pokemon in the Pokemon world. Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet had some dishes you can make that was sus foods. In Gold and Silver, there was a whole plot line about Slowpokes getting their tails cut off to be eaten. I think you can even find a Slowpoke tail, but I don't think you can eat it in the game. There has been a number of times where it was talked about Pokemon eating people. In the games or the manga or what? I don't remember. Slow Pokemon is harvested ethically or forcibly cut off. Well, it's Team Rocket doing it, so I don't think it was ethical, right? You wouldn't expect Team Rocket to be ethically sourcing slow poke tails, which is interesting that they had that plot line, because it's like, okay, yeah, so you're battling animals against each other, but eating them, that's where we draw the line. Their tails grow back? Do they? Get that spot of blue right there on the sleeve. Gotta go over the sleeves in yellow again. Oh, I didn't know Slowpoke tails grew back. Oh, it's already dry. That means that was there for a while. I'm trying to like rub it off. I'd rather paint over white than blue. Okay. You see how they fish with their tails? Well, yeah, and they get bit by a shelter, and that's how they become slow, bro. Or somehow a shelter bites them on the top of the head, and they become Slow King. Not Shelter. Cloisters? One of the clamshell Pokemon. The XY Pokedex was wild on how dangerous some of them were to humans. Well, oh, almost dropped it again. Okay, we'll do one more layer of white on the sash. Crap, I like zoom out my vision to like assess, and then I see more spots. I feel like this is gonna be one of those where I'm never gonna be fully satisfied. And I say zoom out, I mean like take it from up here in my face and look at it from afar and go, oh shoot. Try to grab the stuff that stands out, you know? The ice cream Pokemon reminds me of either a parasite or clever predator for humans. Disguising as something that humans would want to eat, yeah. one more layer of white, and then I don't know, guys. I don't know how much more I can put on this. Hey, take it easy, Dave. Thanks for hanging out. I might be wrapping up here soon. Because everything's got a fresh layer on it, and I really can't do much until all the paint dries. Especially as I put my finger in the paint. Man, I just keep noticing little spots. Like right here. A little bit of white there. Alright. I have to let her dry like that. I think after I let her dry, I think, I don't know, I think we'll go ahead and glue everything together. But I don't know if I'll do all that on stream or not. Or maybe it'll be the start of the next stream, and then we move on to painting Corin next time, but... Let me get the brown on this one taken care of. So that way there's no white spots left behind. But yeah, slightly shorter stream, but I didn't have much else to do for Chun Li here, so I think we got the... Oh, there's like a little spot. I keep noticing just little spots here and there. There's still too much yellow in this paint. What's going on? Or on this brush? And I put more yellow when I meant to do flesh. It's like, okay. Here we go. It's like a spot on her nose that was... not quite filled in. Get her ears with one more layer. cheeks with one more layer so they look nice and smooth. And her forehead too. Guess I can do the top of her eyebrow while I'm at it. Just like that. And then the other side. Okay. Alright guys, I think we're gonna wrap things up here, let everything dry. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty details, and it's not really a good idea to try to brush between layers, because when it starts to partially dry, then it kind of like peels and gets all gritty and stuff. So I'm gonna leave that there. Maybe next time we'll be gluing here together if I don't do that myself behind the scenes, and I might just show the final product. But I think the alligator clips helped, but I need to find a better camera situation because I want to be up here where I can see it, but I need to have it out here so you guys can see it. And just improvements to be made. I'll consult with Dai, the expert hand cam streamer, and we'll get things figured out. But really appreciate all you guys coming over from Tevin's stream. Hopefully you guys had fun. I know it's not quite the same type of stuff I used to do if you watched me back in the day, but yeah, we still play games, and now we're doing this painting thing. So I would like to try to say Chun Li's finished or close to finished. I mean, basically it's just coming down to I could get little spots like just slightly more crisp, but eventually you're just gonna have to say, okay, I don't know if I can get it any better. I don't know if I have the hand controls, or if I need different brushes, or if the model's just too difficult. There's a lot going on, so I might do some touch-ups before I assemble her, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with how she turned out. I think she'll look pretty good once we glue her all together and put some sealant on her, wrap it all up. And then we can move on to Corin, which will be cool because it's a bigger piece, bigger model. And then I'm hoping there'll be more colors to Corin too, since she's, well, a Fire Emblem character, so she's more colorful than a regular character. A Street Fighter character is what I was trying to say. Alright, so I'm gonna find a couple people for us to raid so we can keep the party train going. If you guys are new here from Tevin's stream, if you guys don't mind hitting the sub button over here on YouTube, helps me beat the algorithm, helps me keep my numbers up. Can we not be blurry? Whatever. Like I don't cover DSP like I used to, but hey, if you want to hang out, watch some chill games with alchemy, cute girls, sometimes shooting, sometimes strategy, we do a lot of it over here. Love to have you guys in the next stream, whether it's painting or gaming. And then yeah, that's all I really got for you. So hopefully you guys have a great night. Let's find someone to raid here on YouTube. Add a redirect. Speaking of Pokemon, we could go raid Calliope. She's playing Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. We could go raid my friend Rena. She's doing Dress and Impress. I think Tier's in there too. Oh, hang on. I know a lot of these guys. We'll go raid this collab. These guys are cool people. They started 2 hours ago, so maybe they'll still be going. Haven't said hi to Rena in a while. Hey, you stay dangerous too, Mercenary. Have a great night, Daniel. Thanks for hanging out, Velour. Everyone else who's lurking, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Hopefully you have a good Friday. Hopefully you have a good weekend. I will be back Sunday to play Atelier Yumia, so if you want to see some alchemy, that's what to tune in for. Oh, speaking of miniatures and models, we'll go raid Gondola, who's playing miniatures and models. Who's streaming miniatures and models. Hello, Twitch. I would like to type. /raid Gondo VT. Alright, as soon as that raid's up, I'll send that. And then, yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, guys. Hope you have a good night. Sorry for the slightly short stream, but we're just down to the finishing touches right now, so... And you gotta give everything time to dry. Okay, the raid is set. I'll see you guys over in Rena's channel on YouTube and Gondola's channel on Twitch, and we'll see you next time on Sunday. Take care, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you later.